Hi, let's check in with a good friend of ours, Kerry Shearer, down in Sacramento, to kind of give us an update of what's going on there in the Yuba City and Marysville area. Kerry, good to see you again. How you doing, my friend?
Good morning, Perry. Oh my gosh, water everywhere. It's incredible.
Well, what's happened? The last thing we heard, they were drawing down the lake last night considerably to get the standby overflow to stop the water from going over. How are they doing on that one?
As of 4 a.m., my understanding is that they were down at 898 feet on the lake level, and apparently the spillway is operating somewhere at around 901 feet. So they're now below that auxiliary spillway. And the big issue was the auxiliary spillway, because this is the auxiliary spillway here on the left side.
Right.
And down here, this is the main spillway, which is damaged. So they've got damage at both of these spillways, and it's definitely causing all sorts of problems and concerns. And of course, that auxiliary spillway, that's what prompted the evacuation of 188,000 plus people below the Oroville Dam. But Perry, just look at that initial chunk from just a couple days ago, which is even bigger on the main spillway. It's incredible.
Yeah, this is an amazing thing to see happen. Now, how's the evacuation going?
From what I understand, everybody, this happened very quickly. It was somewhere in the 4 o'clock hour or so when the order went out. And officials from the Department of Water Resources were predicting that there could be the failure of that auxiliary spillway even within the hour at the time. Well, fortunately, that didn't happen, but that was a get-out-of-town quick call for a lot of people. And I think that, all of the features that we have today, reverse 911 and all of the social media, really helped spread the word quickly. And roadways were jammed in communities like Oroville and Gridley and Marysville and Yuba City, anything downstream from that Oroville Dam, trying to get people moved out to higher ground.
Oh, wow. Okay, now the plan, from what I understand today on that auxiliary spillway, Kerry, is to get the water stopped from going over the top of that so they can get into where that supposedly sinkhole is and fill it full of rocks via helicopters. I mean, that's going to be a big deal. Is that still the plan from what you know?
That's what I've heard so far. The National Guard has dedicated something like 8 helicopters to this. CAL FIRE has dedicated aircraft support as well. And of course, it's still a little bit dark here, but they're just waiting for that first light to kind of assess the damage and then figure out, can they drop rocks into the area that has been compromised by the erosion on the auxiliary spillway and hopefully reduce the chances of failure. But it's hard to tell exactly how long that's going to take and when people can get back to their homes.
A couple other quick things. How is the Sacramento River holding, and the confluence of the Sacramento River, the American River, and then, I don't know, is the Yolo bypass, is that all, that weir been taken out in the water out there in the bypass?
Yeah, actually the weir is in pretty good shape, and I've got a little video for you right here. This is the Sacramento Weir and the Yolo bypass.
Wow.
And you can see what happens is there are 45 gates on that weir. They open up those gates and then send the water from the Sacramento River. They divert that out into what's called the Yolo bypass. And it looks like an ocean out there, Perry. You know this area. It looks like a sea. And they actually don't have all the gates open at all, so they can even divert more water. So I have not heard anything about there being a concern about any immediate threats to the Sacramento region if that auxiliary spillway up at the Oroville Dam were to fail. We do have the Yolo bypass, which can help us.
Okay, all right. Thank you, my friend. Talk to you again soon. Kerry Shearer, live from Sacramento this morning, giving us an update of what's going on there in the Central Valley of Sacramento, and very familiar with that. I used to fly over that, and when they do open up the weir and the bypass, it's like an ocean out there. It is miles and miles and miles and miles of water over the farmland.
It looks like they're at the ocean instead of
a browned ocean. Yeah. So anyway, it looks like they're slowly getting a handle on it, but we'll see now as day breaks how they're going to attack the actual problem there on the auxiliary spillway.